Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of All Things Life and Sports with Kyilan Thomas. That's me. I'm Kyilan. I know it has been a minute since I've been on here to give y'all a pod, to give y'all an episode. Life been lifing. I ended up giving me a 9 to 5. So I'm over here trying to figure out how to do the 9 to 5, incorporate my workout time, my training time for what I need to do, incorporate recording for the podcast. So, but don't worry about it. We back and we better. We back and we better. Whew. We are at the midway point of the NFL season. So that's kind of what we're going to get into today. Y'all know I like to talk about my NFL. As y'all can see, huge Jaguar fan. We got our ad whooped the other day, but that's all right. Yeah, let's get into it. So, I'm going to get into the current AFC and NFC standings, playoff picture. Which NFL teams has surprised me this season? MVP race. Who do I think is? I'm gonna give y'all my top 5 on who I think is top 5 right now in the MVP. And lastly, I'm gonna give y'all my fantasy football update. Kind of where I'm in the standings at in my leagues, and kind of how I go about picking my players. And who I think I should go with this week. Gonna get this in now. We got a big Thursday night football match coming up in like 2 hours. So let's get into it. Current AFC and NFC standings. This AFC is wild, man. Hey, the AFC is stacked. I mean, if we were to look at the standings right now, the Bills nor the Bengals, if we were to start the playoffs right now, the Bills nor the Bengals would be in the playoffs in the AFC. Who would have thought that out of any parity in the league, we would have not said, oh, the Bills won't make it or the Bengals will not be in the playoffs. We just wouldn't have said that. Even when the Bengals had the slow start, there were still people, and a lot of people were still saying it's the Bengals. They do this every year. They had that slow start. Not worried. Okay, boom. They go on the street. They get hot. And then they lose to the Texans. They lose to C.J. Stroud, rookie quarterback. And I'm not saying that condescendingly. Like, Stroud. I'm going to just go out and say it. Like, with me being a Jaguar fan, it's a lot for me to say this. But Stroud has played like how we thought Trevor would play. And that's saying a lot. So I'm not saying that condescendingly, but at the end of the day, he's a rookie. And they have a rookie head coach. The Bengals, you cannot lose that game. But if we go look at it, if Tyler Boyd catches that touchdown, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But let's get into it, man. AFC East. Dolphins atop the AFC East, 6-3 record. I mean, Jets, they had that little run there where they kind of shocked us. We knew once Aaron went down, they weren't really going to do too much. They went on that little run. We thought they were going to do something special with that defense, but it is what it is. Patriots 2-8. I think Belichick gone after this year. Saw he signed the contract. He just signed the contract. You know, Belichick like to do stuff secretly, privately. But I don't think he's back after this season, 2-8, unless I think they should just lose out. And even if you get Caleb Williams, I don't think Belichick should be the coach for Caleb Williams. If you're the GM, Robert Kraft, do not let Bill Belichick be the head coach with a Caleb Williams at quarterback. Do not let that happen. Atop the AFC West, Chiefs 7-2. The Chiefs are like the Patriots, okay? For that long, dominant run with the Patriots, we know they're going to be atop the AFC East. That's kind of the Chiefs. I mean, we could say what we want to say about the Chiefs, but hey, at the end of the day, we know they're atop the AFC West. The next team down from them, Raiders 5-5, Chargers 4-5, Broncos 4-5. I mean, Chargers might need to get rid of Brandon Staley, man. He's a defensive head coach. You got a young quarterback. I mean, that's just the move, the wave. You probably got to get an offensive mind in there. I mean, but can't really say that. D'Amico Ryan's defensive minded. Look how Stroud is playing. So if you got to get either the right OC or somebody in there to help you out, man. But Staley might got to go. Jags, we broke the Chargers. Let's see what else. Top of the AFC North. The AFC North is stacked. Like, what was it? Last week before the Bengals lost, every single AFC North team would have been in the playoffs. Where we are now, currently, after these last later games, we do have a game coming up Thursday night in about 2 hours. After that game, we'll see how it shakes out. But every single AFC North team is in the playoffs now this week, except for the Bengals. And who would have thought that? Even the Steelers with Kenny Pickett, George Pickens tweeting and posting about not getting a ball and stuff like that. But there's a screenshot of you had to catch. If you would have just got 2 feet down, how do you not get 2 feet down there? Anyway, who would have thought the Steelers would be 6-3? I mean, Mike Tomlin is then you got fans calling for the firing of their OC, Mike Canada. Yet they're 6-3 and would be fifth, right? They are fifth in the AFC. So they're not even on the bubble. They're fifth in the AFC. So Steelers, they're gonna steal. Browns 6-3. That defense, man, sad with Deshaun getting hurt. But they won games with PJ. I mean, that defense, that Browns defense, man. Let's see if they could take them all the way. That's kind of what we were saying with the Jets defense too. Could they just ride Zach? Let the defense ride you basically. And the Bengals, obviously that's shocking. We're gonna get into my surprise teams, but that's shocking of where the Bengals are. I would not have thought they would be. But they can even it out. They can even it out tonight. I mean, they play the Ravens. Lastly, AFC South. My league, Jags. Obviously, we're atop the AFC South 6-3, but we have two. The AFC South is true. We thought we would have ran away with this division. We are not running away with the division. We did not expect CJ Stroud and the Texans to be where they are. If anything, we thought it would have been the Titans, then the Colts, and the Texans. The Titans are 3-6. They benched Tannehill. It was hurt, but then they decided we're just gonna go with Will Levis at quarterback. We're going forward. Let's go with the future. I don't think Derrick Henry's back next year. I don't know why you would bring him back. I don't know why he would want to come back. If I'm him, I'd probably try to go to a contender. But what contender? Like, if you're a contender, you got a quarterback that can throw the ball, and you probably not. You probably don't suit Derrick Henry's strengths. So I don't know. That's tricky. I wouldn't bring him back. But yeah, Jaguar, we got 2 huge games coming up. We just got our ad whooped 34-3 by the 49ers, but it's okay. We're still 6-3, like Calvin Ridley say. We're still 6-3. We're 6-3. We've only lost 3 games. And that 49ers, they're not even in the AFC. So I mean, if you want to lose one, okay, let that be the one. But because it was 34-3, we all up in arms. I get it. This offense has not performed to the level we thought they would perform. But yeah, the Jaguars, we have 2 huge games coming up. Titans at home, which we suck at home, but I think we win. And if the Texans win against the Cardinals, that next week after we play the Titans, then we play the Texans. That Texans game is, if they win and we win, that's going to be for first place in the AFC South. And who would have thought, as it stands right now, the Jaguars and the Texans would both make it to the playoffs. Jags were the 3 seed, Texans are the 7 seed. So yeah, I mean, yeah, the AFC is stout. I mean, right now you got Chiefs at the 1 seed, they would have the bye, 7-2. Ravens 2 seed, 7-3. Jags 3 seed, 6-3. Dolphins 4 seed, 6-3. The losses kind of left the Dolphins. All 3 of their losses come from big teams, blowing everybody out. But as soon as y'all play a big team, y'all lose. 5th seed Steelers 6-3, 6th seed Browns 6-3, Texans 7-5-4. It's a lot of 6-3 in there, man. Yeah. So let's get into it. That's the AFC. Now the NFC. You pretty much know who at even there's some like the NFC West. Probably thought the 49ers would have ran away with it. They had that little 3-game skid, so that the Seahawks are kind of still there with them. Lions, you kind of predicted them to win the division. The NFC South is horrible. I don't really too much care who come out of there. But the NFC East, pretty much predict the Eagles would be leading it this year, but the Cowboys are always right there. So, I mean, I don't really think the NFC is as stacked as the AFC, but if you kind of look at the records, they are kind of, there isn't an AFC South. What is it? No, there isn't an AFC North in the NFC, I'll tell you that. So let's look at the NFC standings. Eagles lead the NFC East at 8-1. The Cowboys 6-3. Eagles have already beaten the Cowboys at 2.5 game lead on them. They get to play the Cowboys, get to play them again. I think they're gonna lose again, but we just know how they do in big games. But anyway, NFC West, 49ers atop that division 6-3, but the Seattle Seahawks are also 6-3. Let's see. NFC North, Lions atop that 7-2. The Vikings, they're another one of my surprise teams, man. Josh Dobbs is amazing. Like his story, man, is just amazing. I mean, we was teams like Jazz calling to inquire about the Neil Hunter, the pass rush. We thought to see their season was lost. Now they're 6-4. The playoffs started today. The Vikings would be the 7th seed in the playoffs. So they are in the playoffs right now. Who would have thought that, especially in the beginning of the season and how they were playing. Lastly, like I said, NFC South, Saints lead that 5-5. Saints are the 4th seed in the NFC. When we go down the standings, Eagles 1, Lions 2, 49ers 3, Saints 4, Seahawks 5, Cowboys 6, Vikings 7. Saints are a higher seed than two 6-3 teams and 1 6-4 team simply because they win the division. If I'm NFC, I'll probably try to shake it out so I can play the winner of the NFC South. It's horrible. But yeah, so that's currently the standings where we're at now. Not really too, like I said, only thing really surprising or whatever probably will be more so in the AFC. But my surprise teams, Texans would be 1, Bengals would be 2, Bills would be 3, and who else I have? I have the Vikings 4. Those are my 4 surprise teams. Texans is my number 1 surprise team because, like I said, a rookie quarterback. No, rookie quarterbacks do not come into the NFL and take the NFL by storm like that. It doesn't happen. You have the Daks, you have the Cam Newtons. You have those seasons, but a lot more times than not, you just do not see rookie quarterbacks come in and take the lead by storm the way CJ Stroud has. I mean, like, CJ Stroud is in the MVP conversation. I'm not going to give out too much because I'm going to give y'all my official top 5 as of right now where we are. I don't even know what week we in. But week 9, week 10. But week 11. But he's in the MVP conversation for me, honestly. I mean, and I think D'Amico Ryan's Coach of the Year. I mean, I even at this, I don't care. I mean, you kind of got to let the season play out. I mean, they lose out, obviously, okay, but I just don't think they're going to lose out, man. I mean, this Texas team, man, they want to watch, and that's coming from somebody. I'm a Jaguar fan. They in our division, and I'm telling you, they already done beat us 37-17. When they beat us, we was like, oh, that's an abomination. That's a fluke. Turns out it wasn't a fluke. So y'all need to get y'all mind right dealing with these Texans. 2, Bengals. They are on this list because they just lost to the Texans with the rookie quarterback and the rookie head coach from my surprise teams. Like I said, obviously they always start off slow and then get it rolling. They did have it rolling. They just beat San Francisco. But that loss to the Texans, man, that hurt them. Now they're sitting at 5-4 instead of would it be 6-3? It would have been a playoff conversation. So now you're sitting at 5-4. You had Burrows hurt in the beginning. Chase has been hurt. Higgins hurt, missing games. Then Higgins in his contract situation, entering the final year of his rookie deal. They didn't give an extend to a contract. So you got all that going on. Are they going to keep Higgins? It's just a lot going on, like with the Bengals, if you look at it. And then, like I said, if we were to start the playoffs today, the Bengals are not in it. The Bengals will not be in the playoffs today. Now, like I said, we only in week 10, week 11. So I mean, but they're just not a team that I wouldn't say, oh yeah, they're this. How the Steelers in the playoffs, but the Bengals aren't. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. Third team I have as my surprise team is the Bills. They honestly probably could be on here probably 2 before the Bengals. They could be interchangeable. But the Bills are just horrible, man. I mean, they're horrible. The Bills are 5-5. They are not in the playoffs. They will not be in the playoffs right now. 2 games back in your division from the Dolphins. Injuries, you got Tre'Davious White hurt, cornerback Matt Milano is hurt. Those are 2 key pieces, man. Their linebacker and their cornerback that they are missing, so I understand that. But Josh Allen leads the league in turnovers. I mean, in interceptions with 11 interceptions. So he always does this. You're still the same. You have not gotten better. Why have you not gotten better in the turnover department? I don't know. But I mean, then Stephen A. reported in the beginning before the season that Diz possibly won out. Everybody talked about him, but then his brother come out and tweet last night after the loss. How you lose to the Broncos? But anyway, comes out and tweets after the loss. Get him out of there. So it's like, he went wrong after all. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, the Bills, they just got a lot going on. I mean, Diggs showing out on the sideline, throwing, getting mad on the fussing, they arguing on the sideline. Players calling team meetings. They just fired their OC, Ken Dorsey, so you got to put it on something. You got to blame somebody. So let's see how the offense look now. You got to blame somebody. But yeah, I mean, the Bills are just horrible. Jazz probably broke them. When we played them, they had just blew the Dolphins out. And then we come and beat them. So we probably broke them. They probably still jet lagged from the London game. But my last surprise team, kind of mentioned them, the Vikings, who are currently sitting at 6-4. And if the playoffs were to start, they would be in the playoffs. So the Vikings are another one of my surprise teams because, like I said, in the beginning of the season, a lot of teams, especially like the Jazz and us fans, we were wanting them to call and see about Danielle Hunter because we thought their season was a wash. It's like, why is he there? Y'all not going nowhere. Just trade him away, get some for him. And obviously, no, I mean, they went on the street, man, and 6-4, Josh Dobbs comes in, wins 2 straight, won that first one after don't even know the team, don't even know his teammates' names, and now look at him, 6-4, and in the playoffs. So, yeah, the Vikings, those are my surprise teams. MVP. The NFL MVP, usually I feel like at this point you'll have somebody who will be kind of cemented themselves like, oh yeah, this the MVP. This year that's not the case this year. Like let's really get into it. These are the names that I had that are in the MVP conversation. This is who I think should be in the conversation. Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey, Tua, AJ Brown, CJ Stroud, Hurts, Dak, Lamar. Lamar kind of on the outside looking in, honestly. That's what I feel like should be in the conversation. But we all know the MVP is honestly a quarterback award. Should it be that way? No. We've seen it happening with the Heisman. We saw Devontae Smith win the Heisman before. You see it in college. I think the NFL, you kind of need to stray away from that, man. I mean, if you look at AJ Brown numbers, look at Tyreek Hill numbers. I mean, Tyreek Hill's at 1,076 yards with an average of 15.6 yards a catch with eight touchdowns. Tua himself, I have him in the MVP conversation. I have him in the conversation. Tua has thrown for 2,609 yards. Tyreek accounts for 1,076 of those yards. And we still got, what's their record? Were they 6-3? We still got 8 games left. You know what I'm saying? We at the halfway point. He's already accounted for about half of his yards. So I feel like if a quarterback throws for X amount of yards, but one receiver is accounted for a bulk of those, a lot of those yards, and a lot of your touchdowns that you've thrown, and in losses, and in your losses, that player wasn't good, and they attributed to you losing. That player should be in the MVP conversation. Look at CJ. Like I said, CJ Stroud. He's throwing for more yards than Mahomes. Only 2 less touchdowns thrown, 2 rushing. Oh no, 2 interceptions. Mahomes has 8. Stroud has only 2 interceptions as a rookie. For a rookie to only throw 2 interceptions, that man is crazy. With 101 rating. Let's see, Hurts. I got him in here. Honestly, I don't think Hurts is his 7 rushing touchdowns. It's kind of, but as we know, a lot of them probably shoving them into the goal line. So I'm about to give y'all my top 5 where I think right now. I'm gonna give my who I think is number 1 in the race, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. I'm gonna give y'all my top 5 on who I think should be NFL MVP at this point, at this week we are at in the season. My number 1. Now I'm gonna start from the bottom. Started from the bottom over here. I'm gonna start, cause I can't start with number 1, cause y'all gonna be surprised. At number 5, Christian McCaffrey should be the MVP. In those 3 losses, that 3-game streak, he only rushed for at least 50 yards 1 time in that 3-game streak. He has a total yardage right now. He's sitting at 1,086, 13 total touchdowns. So see, when he isn't performing to the level, the San Francisco 49ers aren't performing to the level. But I have him at 5. I feel like the luster around him winning it has kind of died down. I probably could put A.J. Brown in there, interchange him with 5. But that's 5, McCaffrey. 4, y'all, Dak Prescott. Y'all know how I feel about the Cowboys, but I'm an objective journalist. I'm real. I think that is in the MVP conversation. Now they beat up on bad teams, but like I said, it's quarterback award. Look at his stats. The Eagles game, he played well. Dak throwing around right about the same amount of yards as Mahomes, 2,415 yards. Same total passing touchdowns with 2 rushing. Has less INTs than Mahomes. Has a rating of 105.1. Team 6-3. Has a 70% completion percentage. Has a high completion percentage than Mahomes. But yeah, that's what I got at 4. At 3, Tyreek Hill. Like I said, I'm telling you, man, if one player accounts for half or more than half of your quarterback's yards thrown, he should be an MVP. I got him in there over Tua. Honestly, we see when Tyreek ain't explosive and balling, they lose. So this man the average amount of yards per catch is 15. I mean, that's a first down every time he catches the ball. So I mean, he changes the way defense. You have to play defense. You literally cannot single high him. You have to play him a certain way. Like, I feel like when a type of player has that impact on the game, how is he not in the MVP conversation? So that's why I have him at 3. But number 2 though. Number 2, I have Patrick Mahomes. 2,442 yards, 17 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 96 rating, team 7-2. That's what helps him out. Your team is 7-2. Obviously with Mahomes, it's probably one of those, like they say, LeBron with that stretch probably could have won it every year, but you know they're not gonna give it to him every year. You can kind of look. You could say Hurts. We about to have Chiefs Eagles. Hurts has his team at 8-1, but Hurts has not played like particularly well. He hasn't. If you were to look at Mahomes, so yeah, I got Mahomes as number 2. My number 1, who I think should win the MVP as of right now at this moment, C.J. Stroud, quarterback of the Houston Texans. I'm telling y'all, if y'all go look at his numbers, look at where he has his team. I get it. They lost to the Panthers. They lost to the. Look at where he has his team. I'm telling you. Now this goes to the conversation. Should the MVP be on like a Mahomes? Should his team be 7-2, or to have his to be considered an MVP? I do not think so, because like I said, he is a rookie and his coach is a first-year head coach. Nobody expected him to be in this point, and it's not like he's just dinking and dunking. This man is throwing the ball down the field. Look at Brown's numbers. Look at Tank Dell's numbers. He is already elevating the guys around him, and he has the stats to back it up as well. He's thrown for more yards than Mahomes. He has 15 total passing touchdowns, 2 rushing, only 2 interceptions. So 6 less interceptions than Mahomes, 5 less than Tua, 4 less than Dak, and his rating, he has 101 rating. So he also has the stats to back up 2 game-winning drives, 2 back-to-back game-winning drives. We were like, he did it against the Buccaneers, poo-poo defense. Let's see him do it against the Bengals. Boom, beat the Bengals. So if he continues this pace, like I said, I'm a Jaguar fan. I hope he don't. You know what I'm saying? We need to beat the Titans. We need to beat them. But if he happens, and like I said, this is where I'm at right now at this point in the season. If that man happen to lead that team and end up beating us and winning the AFC South, there's no way he should not be the MVP, man. I'm telling you, it's most valuable player. You know what I'm saying? It's most valuable player. That's why I got it. So my MVP, we're going to start at 5, and then we're going to go to 1. My MVP, I have 5 McCaffrey, 4 Dak, 3 Tyreek Hill, 2 Mahomes. Number 1, C.J. Stroud should win the MVP this year. Then every week I do my podcast. I said I gotta come up with me a segment. I gotta come up with what something I can do every week. So I decided every week while we're in football season, we're gonna do Kyilan's fantasy football update. And I'm just gonna kind of update y'all on where I'm at in I got 2 important leagues I'm in. I'm gonna kind of just update y'all on where I'm at in my leagues. We're gonna talk who should be starting, who I done kind of switched around, maybe to give y'all some tips. So 1, I'm in a Jazz league. I'm currently 6-4. I was undefeated for the longest. I just lost 3 straight. Trevor has massively underperformed for me. I picked him because I thought he would have had a MVP. I thought Trevor would have been in this MVP conversation this year, which is why I picked him up. But he's massively performed, so I've had to start Sam Howell over him. Howell's been pretty good this year. I just dropped Gerald Everett, and I swapped him out with tight end T. McBride. Cardinals tight end. Kyler's back. Let's see how he goes with that. I inserted Tank Dell into my starting lineup, and that has boded well, very well for me. I got the Jazz defense. They got me right. They get me takeaways. I got AJ Brown. Now with me, I'm still trying to decide, should I find a way to put Montgomery or Pacheco in there somewhere. Pacheco about to go against that Eagles defense, that Russian defense. I mean, I'm not. He ain't really performed like I thought he was. I picked him up, especially because of how he played in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl. But he ain't really. And then Saquon, is he hurt? So I don't know. We're gonna be on the lookout for that. If Saquon happens to have to, if I gotta take him out, I just substitute Montgomery or Pacheco on for Saquon. And then my money league, this the league you gotta pay money to get in, because we winning for money. Currently 8-2. I was undefeated in this league. I lost 2 straight. I'm gonna keep Trevor as my starter this week. My backup, I got Kenny Pickett. I might need to go in there and see who my other options at quarterback. I think Trevor does well this week against Titans defense. I think he's gonna bounce back. Garrett Wilson got the question mark. Then he going against the Buffalo defense. I mean, but they're down Tre'Davious White. They're down Matt Milano. Do I keep him there? I think I'm gonna keep him there. I got Jordan Addison. That was a good pickup for me. He's been balling. Vikings rookie wide receiver, and so for me, I'm kind of at my flex position. Should I do Adam Thielen going against the Cowboys defense? I don't know about that. Bryce Young, I do not think Bryce is gonna be able to get the ball to him. So that's why I don't have Thielen in there. Pickens, he's been horrible these last couple weeks. I'm just like the week I decided to not start him again is the week he gonna bounce back. And then I got Pacheco. I got Pacheco in as my flex. I got him in that right now. I'm projected to win in that league. I'm projected to win in both, I think. Let's see though. All in all, again, all things like in sports. Episode, I don't even know what episode number we in. I'm back and I'm better. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank y'all for sticking to me. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell so you can get notifications anytime I go live or anytime I make a video. Peace. Wait, no. Make sure everything done before you try to have fun. Peace.